Was it Pet Shop Boys?
It was The Fall.
Was
with, He Pep, which is from the new album, The Light User Syndrome. But it should have been a different title, apparently. They couldn't decide between that or...
Cucumber Bug Brush Leprechaun Juggernaut Mechanic Phobia.
That's better.
It's much better, isn't it? And what have they been doing for the last 16, 17 years? The Fall, Lard?
They've been struggling along without me.
And you say you got low self-esteem. I can hardly believe it. Right, welcome, Mark. And he basically trolls through the archives for all kinds of interesting gubbins and creates the pathological news. Is that about right?
That's
that was
about right.
Yeah, that wasn't. What's it about tonight? Have you got any idea?
Well, I think it's about Radio 1 itself. It's a tribute to Radio 1.
Oh, right, here we go then.
Yes, it's a hub of culture on Radio 1. No, it is, honest. Well, sometimes it is. Yes, it's 1995 and the Mark Radcliffe Graveyard Shift program is a showcase for great poetry talents of the Pure Isle, the Fair Isle, known as England, the UK. We have Jules, the punk poet.
Our Billy got stabbed in the car park.
We have Ian McMillan.
Ellen Robe has got a stain on her coat.
And Simon Armitage.
Do you think we're famous?
I have decided to put my pen to my paper and write an ode to Radio 1. We have all the best items on the radio. One in particular is a real cracker. It's Nicky Brambles in the afternoon with his teasingly topical triple checker. Lest we forget the roadshow from Bangor to Buckner Regis, it's a cornucopia of quality stuff, except for bits and pieces. Don't like bits and pieces. And Lisa Hansen is very good. She uses lots of soul jingles. She looks very nice, except when she moves, because she walks like she's got bloody shingles. Only joking, Lisa. Then there is a great evening session with Steve Backerback and Joe Wiley. Only one thing could improve this fantastic show if they gave it to Mark Riley. Did you write this, Lard? Chris Evans is on in the morning. Mark Radcliffe, he's on at night. Chris Evans is good. He doesn't half make me laugh. Mark Radcliffe doesn't. He's shite. That's all for now.
Quality item.
Very amusing, that one, too. Very amusing indeed. That's whipped us all up into a frenzy, that, hasn't it?
Beat him out of recognizable shape. Beware, your bones are going to be disconnected.
Brilliant, brilliant. Well, I tell you what, tell us a couple of other things, and then we'll come back to that. And
okay.
I'll fade you out gracefully doing those into the next action pack.
Okay, excellent. Well, there's a book. To me, pot humour is usually an oxymoron, but it's quite a funny book called Baked Potatoes: A Pot Smoker's Guide to Film and Video.
Right.
And it's usually, you know, kind of crappy science fiction films and all the rest of it, Cheech and Chong. But they have a weird twist. Ronald Reagan's 1984 State of the Union address. They say, watching this is like watching a videotape of yourself when you were 5. You keep laughing at it nervously, not believing it actually happened. Then all these strange old people start smiling and waving at the camera. And they have a brief history of time. And the way they describe it is baked guy in wheelchair. It says, most of us can relate to those moments when we've figured out the entire universe and swear that the next morning we'll write it all down.
Right, yeah.
Stephen Hawking has had that feeling for more than the standard 6 hours. This guy has had the balls to publish a book called A Brief History of Time. Think about that. So, and on with hilarious consequences.
And then we went out for 6 Mars bars and 10 bags of crisps.
Exactly.
Right then, and how to turn your pet into a master spy. This sounds
That's
like
right.
a cunning plan.
I obviously didn't have my eyes open in Miami. There's a guy down there called Harold Gwynn who has a security firm, and he explains it to everyone that the intelligence community has been using innocent-looking pets in espionage for decades. So he tells you how to wire your dog for sound, no problem. Tape the microphone to the dog's
Cliff Richard
underbelly.
record, wasn't it?
And he says the dog will naturally trot around behind you if you train it, and then it'll go behind your kids as they hang out with people suspected of pot smoking, or your hubby as he stops to chat over the fence with the neighbourhood tramp. I think that's tramp in the American sense.
Happens all the time, doesn't it? Oh, I see. Tramp in the
And
American.
apparently you can also train your cat to release a micro camera shutter just by arching its back. So things to think about there.
Right, I think some good tips. Well, nice talking to you, Stephen, and if you could leave us with a few more Hong Kong film subtitles as we go into Hell and Love, I think that would be hugely apt.
You always use violence. I should have ordered glutinous rice chicken. I'll fire aimlessly if you don't come out. You daring, lousy guy. I have been scared shitless too much lately.